Smile. Your turn.
Okay, we can move over just a little bit to pick up Paul here. All right, we got Paul in there now too. Okay, that's great. Oh, we got them all, the entire board. Now, if I don't kick the stand. Okay, thank you all for coming to the Will Township May board meeting. Everybody's present. Mr. Clerk, has everybody had a chance to review the minutes from the April board meeting? Amendments, corrections?
Here.
Motion to approve. Paul, second.
I'll second.
Warren, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. I'll just better write this down. At this time, I'd like to recognize our visitors, Sergeant Taylor with Will County Sheriff's Department and Terry Kwiatkowski for service tonight. Before we get started with the business of the township, Sergeant Taylor, would you like to share things with us? And then you can go, of course.
Sure. Okay. I don't have a lot to pass along in the way of any crime and stuff, much anything happening out here, although this is the start of the season where it starts to get warmer out. Everything's going to start picking up like normal. That's normal anywhere in the county. So one thing I do ask that you guys do is, this is especially at the time of the year where ruse burglaries happen, and a lot of times they tend to prey on the seniors of the community. So anybody that you know that may just be very naive or just trusting of everybody, just let them know if somebody comes to the door, because I know there's not a lot of people here in the audience today, but just let them know if you know of anybody like that, that someone comes to the door offering their services, just tell them you're not interested. Tell them they're not interested. If you want them to leave, tell them to leave. If they won't leave, you call us. You don't have to. As an adult, you should be able to determine if you need a service or not and contact that person accordingly. Don't ever feel like you have to hear what they have to say or let them into your home or anything like that, because they'll come in and they're very bold. They're really bold. We see it all the time. Burglaries and residential burglaries and burglaries of sheds and pole barns and everything else like that are starting to pick up again. If you have a way to lock. Hi.
Do we miss it?
Yep.
We did the whole thing.
The whole thing. I tried to stop him.
Okay, I'm sorry.
That's okay. If you have a way to secure that or lock those, please do. If you don't, anything even like a motion light or something in the back there, anything suspicious, like I said, once again, call us. We've been starting to get more people that, as long as you're not putting yourself in harm's way, if you see a suspicious vehicle, try and get the plate number if you can at all possible. So that way we can run it if they're not there by the time we get there and find out where they're at, if they live in the area. Or the next day, if there's stuff missing, at least we have a suspect to go on, somebody to give to investigations so they can follow up on it further. So, and then lastly, I wanted to let you guys know, not sure how this would be affecting any of you guys, but I was told by my lieutenant to pass this along. In case there's any rumors floating around out there, our Eastern Will County Temporary Holding Facility, the jail that's in Crete off of Exchange and Western right there, we are condensing the hours. It used to be open, 7 days a week for 12 hours, from 7 at night till 7 in the morning, and now they are bringing it down to 8-hour shifts. So it's going to be open from 6 at night till 2 in the morning. And anybody that's there will then be transported over to the main jail. It'll still be 7 days a week. But the thing I wanted to rest assure everybody is they're not cutting manpower anywhere. It's not going to affect us out here at all. Because I know that was kind of going around a little bit. So we're not losing anybody out here. We're not losing anyone on the road. We're just cutting the hours of the jail. Because they did a statistics study on it, and for the amount of people they were intaking, even from small agencies and stuff like that too, it wasn't, practical to have it open for that many hours. So But that's all I have. You just missed me talking about roost burglaries and...
There has been some.
No, not yet, but this is a season where it starts, so just please be aware if you know of anyone elderly or someone that's kind of a little bit naive, gullible, that, you know, if someone comes to your house offering to do services, just tell them you're not interested. If you're not interested, plain and simple, I'm not interested. If they don't take no for an answer, you say leave or I'm going to call the police.
I suppose
You don't need
it's-
to let them in your home. They'll try and get around back with you and distract you. Well, come around back. I have something I have to show you, you know. Let's look at the back, or, you know, I'm doing some work. I just want to show you where... Don't go in the backyards with anybody. Keep your doors secured when you're out back. You know, if you're out on the whatever and out back. I know you people have lived here for 20 plus years or more, 20, 30 years. If you're going to be in the backyards, just because of just how remote everything is out here, just keep your doors locked, you know. It stinks that we have to be to that point, you know, but society, it's definitely not getting better crime-wise, you know, so we might as well just protect ourselves. So that's about all I have.
Any
If anyone's got any
questions for Sergeant
questions?
Taylor?
I suppose when you're talking burglaries, I suppose the worst is when the crops are up.
That does also, yes, that's a good point too. It makes it a lot less visible for anybody to be able to see anything. It's much, if you do have alarm systems, I'm a huge advocate of alarms. I spent 8 years back in crime scene investigations, so I've processed a lot of burglaries myself. But they help. I mean, not just for, you know, the response time, but the audible. It scares people off. It catches the attention of maybe far off neighbors or something too. You know, it's a good thing. But even if you don't have that, just keep your doors locked when you're not home and when you're out back. And that's about it.
Have you noticed more speeders now since the temperatures are warmer and kids are got a heavy foot?
People are crazy. I don't think that's gone up at all, but our drivers in this county and state, don't get me started, but, you know, it's going to happen.
Yeah.
So.
That's all the Indiana people coming.
It is, you know, no, even on the way out here, because I'm actually assigned to a different area tonight, but I came here for this meeting, but like everybody I followed behind today on the way here from the expressway off was an Indiana player. I'm like, why is everybody in Indiana here today? So,
Yeah, who's your daddy?
right, I know. Any other questions?
We want to thank you, Sergeant Taylor, for coming tonight.
It was nice seeing you
Appreciate
guys.
it.
Thank you.
Yeah,
And we'll
thank
try
you.
to be here next month for the meeting too.
Well, thank
so.
you.
Thank you.
Bye, guys.
Bye.
You want any brownies before you leave?
Oh, it's be good. It's summertime.
I thought there's a little thing with policemen and sweets.
Well, you know what? I liked sweets before I became a cop too.
Oh, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay with you.
Bye-bye.
Okay, we'll move along for reports. Will Township Planning Commission has not met this month, or last month apparently. Road Commissioner?
Well, my report's easy. It's all typed out here, but I don't have my glasses, so if Judy would like to read it. I don't know, I have any clue what's on here.
You're not 40 years old. That, you
You
don't
don't
need
know?
glasses.
No, I can't read through it.
Okay, township summary land use, so you have 1, 2, 3, 4 improvements in Boney Township, nothing in Will Township for March, and then for April, 1, 2, 3 in Boney Township, and nothing in Will Township. They're like roofing, windows, a new deck, that's what it is. We have a new vendor called Tifco Industries. From the circuit court clerk, we got $44.49 for fees for, you know, speeding. We got $2,242.30 from Judy Bartolina's office. Typical road work for the month was, of course, cold patching, all our township roads as needed. The gravel roads were graded and dragged, and new stone was put down. And there'll be a letting for one of our MFT projects on Wednesday, May 22nd at 9:30 in the morning, that hopefully Bruce will attend. And if not, that just gets, you know, they handle that at the counties. We have bids out for stone and oil and everything for summer road work. So that's basically it for the month. We still their bills.
Any questions from the board?
Verbally, I have a couple things that I can remember to talk about. The meetings for the Ileana Expressway, I have attended them as the road commissioner. Two recently, one I think after our last meeting, that was at the atrium. Paul was there, myself. Again, the same information that gets handed out at every meeting. Nothing really new. They break out into these little sessions. I think I talked about that briefly at the town meeting. But anyway, I would like to compliment Paul as a trustee for being there. At our table, there was quite a vocal consortium of people there telling us how great this was going to be for our community. Well, Paul was in definite disagreement with them, and it was good to have a new person there besides Bruce Hammond complaining all the time. I think Paul brought out some very good points of real estate values, emergency services, school bus routes, etc., all the things that have been talked about, but also brought them to a new group that was at the table that really don't live in this area, and at least we were heard about that. The funniest part of the whole afternoon was the guy who was most vocal about how great this was for us was the mayor of Manhattan. He couldn't educate us enough as to how this was going to value our properties, and the best growth is still yet to come. What he failed to tell us at the table was he just got defeated in the election. So we took his advice with a grain of salt and thanked him. Last week, I don't remember the day, Tuesday or Wednesday, I went to another hearing meeting that they had at Cedar Lake. Same routine there. After the meeting somewhat broke up to the public, I did get a chance to talk with Steve Schilke, the project engineer, and laid our map out there and told him that the routes through Will Township that they are going to be closing was not going to be acceptable to myself or anyone on this township board. We're not going to have 3 miles of road closed east and west of Will Summer Road. That's just not going to happen. And we need to go to their next meetings and be very vocal about that. And I would hope more trustees, supervisor will come for that purpose. They've got a hearing set up for May 30th, which I think is quite unfair to the farming community right now, with everybody being 3 weeks behind. And I'm going to make some phone calls to that effect to Donnie Trotter, LG Sims, and I've got another person working on Cape Plumen to see if they can get that postponed until perhaps August. But yeah, I don't know if we'll be successful, but I think we need to be heard.
I did talk with Alicia Hanlon, you know, she's the Will County transportation person.
Yes.
And I asked her to contact IDOT for that exact thing and move the meetings to August like you suggested, because we'll be planting. I said the farmers can't make it, so.
Well, I did mention that at the meeting at Cedar Lake the other day. It was quite unfair for them to rapidly schedule all these meetings during this time of year. So we'll see what happens with that. Other than that, I don't have anything right now until we get to the budget review.
Okay. Assessor, have you got anything?
Yeah. During the month, at some point, I don't remember when, my internet stopped working. So that means I couldn't get into Joliet, because you have to get in through the internet. So I called John Burles, and you've got the bill with my expense thing there. Here's what John found. He found 94 virus infections and removed them from the computer. He reset the internet router, and now we're getting internet connection. He did a tune-up of the computer, and it's now working properly. He also adjusted, don't ask me how he did that, but he adjusted the printer ink on the printer. He adjusted it so it uses 1/3 of the ink that's in your, now here's the before and after copy. This is what was printed before. This is after the adjustment. I can't see much of a difference. They're both readable. So, that's gonna help with buying ink cartridges. Also, from my son, he sent me a link to this site. And this place, it's supermediastore.com, and then a whole bunch of junk after that. Black cartridges are $11.95. Colors are $8.95. The whole 4 of them together are $29.95. I paid at Office Max, I don't know on my expense thing, what I have there.
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
Are those, excuse me, refilled cartridges?
They are remanufactured.
I'll warn you, they work okay. I've done it, but you'll get a little screen that'll pop up all the time.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it just gets irritating, because there's some kind of little electronic thing that they can't reset in the cartridge, and it keeps telling you you need new printer ink, even though you don't.
Yeah, well, I have to order printer ink now, because one of the things I printed up the other day was color, and the color was barely visible. So I'll order some and see what happens. Also, here's Washington Township's newsletter. I don't think you'll get that.
It's online.
That's it. You have my letter I gave you. There it is.
There it is, okay, good, thank you. Clerk, Kip, you got anything for us this evening?
Yeah, I'm gonna swear you guys in, I gotta run some copies off, and, do it now, or you wanna finish?
I've got it
your
under new
agenda?
business.
Okay.
Under new business, you got the last thing to swear in all elected officials present for the new term beginning May 30. Because all we have to do is stand up and then we just say our position, right? Yeah, okay. I've got that set on the agenda for the last thing. Anything else other than that?
Oh, nothing. No
Okay.
correspondence, no nothing.
I have nothing to contribute except for the fact that we're going to be installing a new flagpole out here within the next 2 weeks. I've contracted with Folgers, who has done our Legion flagpoles previous. So we hope to have Old Glory flying out here real soon. In a much better situation with the halyard and everything, so it'll be much easier to put the flag up and take the flag down. I've been remiss with that, and Judy's been at my heels trying to tell me to get the flag up, so you'll see a new flag out there soon, which was in the budget for last year.
How big up?
It's 26 feet. It's 3 by 5. I didn't want anything bigger than a 3 by 5.
No. I just curious how big a pole you're going.
It's a cement base and everything. It's going to be pretty well. It's adequate for our needs, and they've got quite a bit of experience in the field, so we should be okay with it. The wind out here is horrific, as you well know. Oh my gosh.
I got an aluminum pole at home that's tremendous.
It is, good.
It's one of those telescoping ones. It don't move. I got 2 flags hanging off of it.
Oh, they come down section by section. It's like we
Yeah,
get-
you can't do the halyard thing
No, we don't have
to
a
raise and
halyard
lower the
either.
flag properly. But
Well, that's what we get out here also, but I think I might have bought it cheap. Anyway, you'll see Old Glory flying out there real soon. Rocky, have you got anything as ESDA coordinator?
not a thing.
Trustees, at this time, do you want to share anything with us? Paul?
The current barn activities over on my property.
The what?
The current barn activities on my property.
Barn, oh, okay.
Yeah, I had the barn removed, and we're in the process of attempting to put up a full barn. The county is really great, Judy. It turns out the contractor went out to get a permit to put it up, and they said they don't think they can give us a permit to put the building up because since we demolished the barn, we're no longer agricultural. Now, who asked us to demolish the barn? It was the county.
I never heard that.
Isn't that wild?
Before.
Of course, I got a corn crib out there and the other thing. So I'm gonna let the construction firm worry about
I
it.
was gonna say you're zoned.
Yeah, I'm A1 with special use, but at this point, it's funny.
You know, it's funny, I put my barn up and I didn't have a lick of problems. I just went in there, got the permit and put it
They
up.
like you.
You gotta be nice when you walk in.
That's it.
Okay, thank you. Jerry? Warren or Rocky? We don't have any old business. The first order of new business is to accept the letter of resignation from our assessor, Stella Zagicala, which I have right here. We were going to get, who are those guys that dance for women?
Led dancers?
Yeah, male dancers.
Oh,
We're going to have that for you tonight.
Oh,
Stella,
shucks.
but, they called and said they couldn't make it. They had another assessor was being retired, so
I
they
guess
just
you're down under.
But we'll get something. We'll get
Down
some-
under.
Down under, yeah. But we'll get something together for you before the year is out, because you're going to be with us through the end of your term, the next half of your term, of course, and helping to bring in the new person online. This letter is to advise you of my designation as Township Assessor at the end of my term, which is December 31st, 13. After 22 years of working with the board and people of Will Township, I must say I'm very pleased. Yes, at times frustrated, but we worked through it all. When I came in as assessor, our township assessed valuation was $17,500,000. As of today, our township is $40,178,032. Needless to say, I do it all myself. When John was here, he was a big help, and I lost the best worker one could have. But time marches on. I am finding it more difficult to keep up. Adios, mi compadres. Stella Zagicala. Thank you for the years. Okay, at this time we will vote and appoint a candidate to replace Stella for the assessor's new term, beginning January 21, 2014, and to December 31st, 2017. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And by that time we will still have no airport, and we will not have a road through our township. Judy, did you, as everybody, according to Glenn, everybody has met the prerequisites as far as being registered Republican?
Yes,
Okay, because we have to replace this office with a Republican.
right.
And nominations, do we need nominations, since we only have two candidates? Is there anybody else in the room that wants to nominate themselves or be nominated? So we have two candidates at this point in time. All right, Helen Heisner and Terry Kwiatkowski. So we'll just take a paper vote, first time around. If there is a tie, there are 5 people. I don't know, I called TOI and to ask them how, the procedure with this, because when we had trustees, I just brought them up before the board and I appointed them, but they said if there's a tie, then the clerk would make the vote. And I'm thinking, well, how can there be a tie with 5 people?
Because you vote.
Because I vote.
That seems.
So I thought Jerry Crabtree was maybe, I don't know.
Well, maybe if somebody wasn't here, like if you.
Oh, yeah, okay, there was a quorum, but there was somebody missing.
Yeah.
That's true. If we could have a quorum with somebody missing,
Right.
then there would be a even vote. Okay, now I understand what Jerry meant. Okay, do you want to get some scrap paper? We'll just pass it around.
I can grab some scrap paper.
Please, since you are the precinct committee person.
I am.
Yes, you are the
I would've-
VIP in the room. You are the VIP in the room and the ranking Republican.
I would have put
Yes, you
something
are.
together,
In
but
this district. You are the ranking person, but.
how many pieces of paper do you want?
We'll need 5.
Okay.
These are the best I can come up with.
And the clerk will count.
That'll work.
I'm sorry, you guys get smaller ones, just write smaller.
Hey, you've got an opportunity. Brady is stepping down. He wants a female GOP.
I'm perfectly happy with everything I'm doing right
Glenn, would you
now.
collect the votes, please, and count them?
You're done already?
No.
What do I have to put the ad together?
How many times do I have to follow the
Oh.
official ballot box?
You?
Good hand.
Take that paper, going back room.
Oh, now we're going to bed.
No, we can do it.
We'll go back. We'll go in the library.
We're gonna miss you, Stella.
Just behave yourself, sir.
I can count
So
myself.
what are we gonna do? We're gonna miss you. You're still gonna come and see us, aren't you?
And there's stories
Well-
about Glenn.
But yeah.
Okay, while Judy and Glenn are counting the votes, which should take about 2 minutes, we have review of proposed budgets for fiscal 2013 and 14. Bruce, you want to go first? We're just going to review the highlights with you. There's nothing significantly different, I think.
No.
either in either budget, so if you want it in-depth, you can go to the library like every other constituent. If you want to get more in-depth, you're going to have to approve it within 30 days, and you're going to do more scrutiny of it. Of course, that's up to you. But Bruce, you can go first.
Well, the only two items that would be different, I did budget in there. I'm not sure what the condition is of the roof on our maintenance building. So I do have two line items in there, one of a $10,000, one out of one fund, and 5 out of another. I don't know if we get the job done for $15,000, or if I even have to do it this year.
Is it steel or asphalt?
Steel. I have no idea what labor-wise to tear the old one off and re-roof it. I've never done one, so if anybody else has got any experience in that.
No, we just keep repainting it.
I know this one around, some of the nails are starting to get pretty rusty, so I'm hoping it'll hang on this year. And the only other thing I have included in there, and this is just something I would like to do, I have $12,000 put in there, I think with a $50,000 limit. If I find a used end loader, I may pick one up. I've got the option in there either for purchase or for lease.
So like a payloader?
Yes, over a 4 or 5 year period. But I've been borrowing Boney Townships last couple summers, and I hate to wear out my welcome, and if I can find one reasonable and good condition, I might latch on to it.
What are you looking for?
Like my preference would be a 924 F Cann. Yeah. Warren probably knows more than John. Your line, what's smaller than John's? 544? 444. You got a 544? Okay. Or a 444?
I would not, really for our use, I would not go bigger. It's a nice size. The 544 is just a nice all-around mower.
Do you want one that size or?
I'm satisfied with one smaller than that because the one Piatone has and the one Jerry has is more than sufficient for our asphalt zipper. So I really don't need to invest in a heavy one like that. But
444.
Yeah.
Right.
Probably not. You probably don't want anything that's older than.
Rocky, I guess the vintage doesn't bother me. I hate to get anything over 5,000 hours. Hopefully I can find something between 5,000 and 7,000 hours.
We got quite a few avenues, that's why.
Okay. And those would be the only two items that would be different in the budget for me.
Any questions? As far as the township budget is concerned, for the third straight year in a row, we're working with less property tax, and not necessarily because we're getting less from the county, but because Bruce and I have both been levying less, which means we are working within our budget and we're doing as much as we can with less money. So we're being fiscally really responsible, and hope a little outfit like this can maybe show the big fellas that, you know what, it can be done if you just work at it. I know that our budget is nowhere near what these budgets are for some of these other townships. But still in all, we're working within our budget, and the budget is less for the last 3 years. So, matter of fact, I looked at this thing, it says $850,000 if the road district. If a road district has $850,000 of revenue, they're supposed to do like special audits and stuff like that.
Oh, really?
Who in the Sand Hill gets $850,000 for a township road district?
I'm sure they do.
Quite a few of them go that direction.
Yeah.
Plainfield, Wheatland, Frankfurt.
But my maps are all built up, and there's hardly any unincorporated areas left.
Yeah, they get it all out of the buildings, out of what's in the village if they're in their township.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
We have one township that has, what, $2.2 million in motor fuel tax that hasn't spent anything.
Don't tell Quinn that.
Well, you don't have to tell him, he's already looking at it.
He's wanting all that township money. But anyway, I'm sorry I got off track. But anyway, it just shows responsible government here at the Will Township level. I do have a contingency for the third year in a row of $50,000 in the event we might want to do more to our building, or perhaps lease more property. I don't think we have to do that, but I want to keep it in the budget just in case there is a requirement for it. With Jim allowing us to use the facility there for our voting precinct, which is really a terrific asset. for us, even though we don't own it. I'm just still keeping that contingency in there. As unanimously, we voted as a board to keep our salaries the same, and of course, salaries is the biggest item in the budget for the township, so that stays the same for the third term in a row. The only other thing was, anyway, our transfer to the road district, which Bruce was very